All right. Obviously, we're not a very good ball club right now. I think we have the talent here. Uh, I, I think the biggest thing after this last ball game, I challenged myself. I've got to be more active at practice. I got to be more of a part of it. I got to be more demanding, not just on them, but on me too. So, took me on Sunday. I was laying on the couch and had those thoughts going. Watched the game about 5 times and said, you know what? I either stand up or go. One of the two. So I'm standing, and we're going to get this thing right. I'm not promising W's and L's, but I will promise you good basketball. What I watched wasn't good basketball. It's bad basketball. I was probably the maddest I've ever been for at least 3 years, 3 or 4 years. So, hopefully I can help them, and hopefully they're going to help me have a better Sunday. So we'll see what happens.
What does be more involved mean?
Well, I've assigned. I used when I first got here. I did everything. And I had Duhan, but Duhan did the personal development, but all the play stuff and scrimmages, and I took the team, and I did the team, and I did it. And then and that's where I was as a high school coach. I just I and I'm just gonna sound bad, but it's true. I just didn't trust anybody but me. And if I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down on what I do, not on what somebody else does. And so what I saw is that I got to be me again. And so I'm going to try to help these guys the best I can, everything I know, but I'm not going to leave it to somebody else. I'm going to do it. And so today I took the green team and stayed with them, offense and defense, and coached them the whole time, and throw a barb out every now and then to the black team. But it's just me being more involved. I had separated the practices to where each coach had a part. Now there's one part. That's me. And we'll see if we can't get it straight. Corny does still. We still have people scout the other teams, and they do the scout. And Corny will take the team that I'm facing, But the team that right now that's playing, I'm going to stick with them. And hopefully I can make a difference. You don't ever know, You do the best you can. I'm going to do the best I can, but I've learned a long time ago I'm going down on me, not somebody else.
I think every season has that one game where a coach says, "What are you doing?" I hope that's the one that kind of.
There are going to be more of those. We're not seasonal. Come on, fellas. We lost Player of the Year and 2 first-round guys, and 2 of them were late. One of them was late. Andy kind of knew Handlockton was going in, but not just 2 guys. I mean, the leading scorer, all-time scorer. The other one, top 5, and 2 first-round picks, and Player of the Year, and Freshman of the Year. How much do you use the portal after that? I've watched a lot of teams, Sun Belt. If you look at the Sun Belt, one of the best teams just beat Auburn, right? Everybody came back. Louisiana hit the portal hard. I think they're 500. It's not everybody says you can just go right in there and get yourself well with a portal. Yeah, you'll find one that did. I'll find you 5 that didn't. So it's not as easy as you think. And so, we've got to be good at how we use that portal. I don't want to take away from this young man if he next year comes in and he's developed and it's pretty close. And I expect him to play that position. And if it gets like we lost Andy late, and we had that gap, we didn't have anybody here to fill that spot, then okay, that's portal time. Got to go find it. But I don't want to take the portal and use it to where I supersede young men who I'm bringing in here as freshmen and tell them they're going to be a part of Marshall. And every time they get about ready to get some experience to get on the floor, I go get a senior or a graduate and set them back down. They don't develop. And then once you get into that, if you're a team that took nine portal guys and they all leave, you're doing it again. You can't go. There's nothing coming up from the wings. A little bit like baseball, though baseball's better when they had the old farm leagues. The Yankees, you always knew they came through the Yankee farm system. they're always going to play. Well, we've lost that, a lot of people. But again, uh, Appalachian State just beat Auburn, and again, we talk about our league. Well, okay, James Madison beat Michigan State at Michigan State, and they ranked fourth. And Auburn's a pretty damn good team too. They got beat. So they're basketball's a funny game. It looks like it's one of the better games I think that you can change things real fast, and hopefully we're going to get that done. I don't promise nobody anything other than I'm going to give you my best shot, and we'll see what happens.
Does the portal take some of the fun out of development?
Yeah, it does me. I don't know him as well. By the time he graduates, I'm going to feel like his dad. I'm going to know him, and I hope that I'm good for him and he's good for us. So I don't, and I know, a lot of people go, oh, you got to be tougher than that. I hear him, it's all bull. I'm here to help this guy. And when I ask parents to send them me their son, and we recruit good kids, they usually have parents that are pretty good. And when I say we're going to try to be right there for them and help them, I mean that. I ain't screwing them because I want to jump ship or I panic and they go out in the portal and keep not giving him a chance to develop. I'm not going to do that. I get criticized for that, and so be it. So be it. We're going to win games. We won 24 games. It was with two guys that have been here 4 and 5 years. So, we're going to keep doing that. And if you got to think you're going to win every year at a championship level here, anywhere. I walked by Cal the other day. I said, I hope you enjoyed. You got a great team. He said, shit, I got to win every game. Well, that's a damn shame that he can't enjoy that team. They got beat the other day by UNCW, which is going to come in here. But, and I'm sure he feels, and they go, well, he makes enough money. I know. I get that. He didn't, that's part of the market. Too bad, But to me, money, I just don't value. I don't think money is the criteria you judge people with or expect from. A lot of people do. I don't, if he's working hard, he's a good coach. He works hard. He's bringing good talent, and they're a good team. They may get beat. Don't go crazy when they do. It happens, I think who else got beat? Somebody else got beat here just recently that was way up here. Huh?
Southern beat Mississippi State.
Yeah, Southern beat Mississippi State. It happens. So, they talk about how weak our league is. Well, there's 3 top 25 teams that they beat. Well, okay. What if we get beat? It happens. But we're going to play. We're going to give you good basketball. We're going to be there. But last year, we were 1 game away from winning it all. I don't know why we can't win it this year. We're not playing well enough right now, I'll tell you. We ain't going to win it if we're playing like this later on. But I don't expect that to happen. So we'll see what happens.
How do you balance it then with this new instant gratification where you want to develop players, but they see a shinier thing and they want to gravitate toward that? So what do you have to do to kind of counteract that and try to keep what you have and build upon that?
Well, I do the best I can. I give them the best I can. If they don't want to be here, I open the door and tell them get the hell out of here. There's a point where they're not more valuable than Marshall. I don't care. Now, that's me. I don't think I'm not more valuable than Marshall, and neither is anybody else. So if they don't want to be here, we'll find somebody else. We'll get somebody who wants to be here, wants to play for Marshall, and wants to play the right way, and we'll play as hard as we can, and I'm going to enjoy it, and we're going to win enough games to enjoy it, and one day we might pop up and win the conference, and we might be into the damn NCAA. You might win a game there. You might win 2. You might do what Florida Atlantic did. You don't know. If we had gotten away from West Virginia that year, we might have gone further. That was just a bad matchup for us because their guard was one of the best defenders in the country, and their big was huge. And that matched up against our 2 best guys. So it wasn't a good matchup, but for us. And so, it happens. Do the best you can. This game's to be enjoyed, and if expectations get above beyond reality, it's not enjoyable. It's not enjoyable for the players that are playing, the coaches that are coaching, and eventually it's not going to be enjoyable for the fans. They're not going to enjoy it either. So my thing is, I root for Marshall. I don't care who it is. I root for Marshall, whether it be the women beating Florida like they did, or soccer team. Sometimes like a soccer team made the final 16. Some people are walking around like death. That was a hell of a season, but your expectation was win it all. Guess what? You're a failure now. I hope it's not like that. It's not for me. I enjoyed their success, and I'm happy for them. And so, whatever it is, doesn't matter.
Duquesne, the team you saw last year, how different are they from the team?
Well, they went portal, so they're heavy portal, and they got a lot of older players. One thing that I think the advantage you get from the portal is you stay old all the time. They got 22, 23, 24-year-olds on your team playing. How old are you guys? 19. So they got somebody 3 or 4 years older playing against them all the time. It's tough. That part's tough. But that's where we have to do a good job in developing that we have older guys, enough older guys to counter them. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to be stocked with it. Well, they're stocked with it. They go all the way through 9 people with older guys that are coming from the portal. They played somebody within 3 points. They're 5-2, and they played a big team to within 3 points. And they're a good ball club, and they're going to be a handful. I don't know whether we'll win or lose again, but track is, and I've said this, and I'll say it again from the beginning, we are a developing team. This last game, I didn't like the way we were developing. I'm going to try to stem that tide and push us back in the developing team. Wins and losses are going to be jagged until we get really our rhythm and everybody gets comfortable with what we're doing. And guys like Kyson and Nutter and we got Kevon is learning because it's a new system. I'm trying to get Cam Crawford back in gear. I had to send a little message, but hopefully he got the message. And then send a little message out to Chase, see if they get a little message, and if they don't, they don't, but I sent the message, so we'll see how they react to it. I have high hopes that they'll react in the right way, that we did it the right way. We don't defame anybody, just challenge them in a positive, strong, positive way, but very honest about what they're not doing. You're not doing this, so you're not running down the floor. That's not quick enough. You're not going to the corner. You don't do that, you don't play. That's it. You don't run hard enough. You don't do this. You're not within our system. Then you're not going to play. You'll sit there the whole game. I'm not playing. Even though you may be the most talented kid on the team, you're not playing. I'm not going to have an all-airport team. That's what they are. They come out there, they look really good, and they get beat. And we're not going to be that. And so we challenged about 3 of them, and I think we had a good practice today. It was pretty intense, and it has to be, the 16th guy. I challenged the guy that probably won't play, but he is in practice every day. And if he's not working, then it bleeds. It bleeds. So, either here or you need to go study. You decide what you want to do. That's not me. Now, I'm just watching on film here. I show them 4 or 5 clips. There you are. That's what I see. Now, you tell me why you should play. They don't have an answer. They're good guys. Our guys are good guys. So they don't make, that doesn't mean they'll be hard workers. You can be a good guy. He's nice to have around, but I don't want to go in business with you too. So we'll see. I think it'll be fine, and I think we're going to start growing again. We stepped back. It wasn't a good game. It was ugly against Miami. I think the score was 9-8, 8-7. About 10 minutes to go. Normal teams here, we'd been up 22-7, 8, and then they get their little run. And we're still up 4. then it goes away and we get another little run. Next thing you know, we're up 18. That's the way it was last year, you know. So we just got to get back to that, doing the right things. We're not fundamentally doing things, and they're not focused. I use the word resolve all the time. You have to have a resolve. In other words, when I'm sitting down in front of you, you're not scoring. You're not on me. You're not going to score on me. If I'm off the ball, and I'm supposed to, I'm where I'm supposed to be, and I'm watching things, little things that I think I bring to the game as a coach is the little things, the subtleties. And we work on a little bit, just like Nate. Nate was, man would take off and run, and the ball's over here, and he would run thinking he had to get up to guard the pick or where he's going to. And he's leaving this guy over here by himself exposed. Well, the guy can take off. You know, if he's good, he may beat your guy. And you don't have to run real fast because we're switching everything. So when he runs out there, he's running into other players. We're just switching it. So why are you running with him so that he can drive over here? So just kind of watch, make sure he's squared up, and then you got time. Ease out of there. Ease back up. You got to know when to ease up and when to really clamp down. And I think those are the things that I started teaching a little more. That I don't know what the deal was. I guess I'm getting closer toward retirement. Don't know when that is, so don't write it. I'm getting closer, and I was trying to involve everybody, trying to let them, and I got to get back to being a little bit of a crab guy, you know, and because I am crabby at times when it comes to basketball in the season. Not afterwards, but during the season. I don't want to use the word I am, but my wife could probably tell you. But I just, you know, I'm focused, you know, and I got to get back there. I think I lost a little bit thinking I'll share. Sharing's out. I'm gonna do it, and if I go down, I'll go down, you know. That's the way it is. I've told my coaches, I brought them in, I tell them, I don't take offense. It's not anything about how good or how bad you are. It's just about me doing what I do. And I've done it for so long. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else, but I'm not going to go down without me being the reason. That's all. I'm not letting somebody else. I learned that lesson. I think we were I go on with stories, but we were in the NIT, and we went over to, I think the score was tied or something. We were playing St. Pete the year we got beat right at the end. And I thought Coach was going to call a play. I'm glad he's passed away. He might jump on me, but I'm not glad he's passed away. But I'm glad he doesn't hear this. I don't think he hears this. Maybe he does. But so I was going over it thinking they were going to get a play, and nothing came out. So I'm trying to scurry a little bit with George Stone. I said, George, I'll get you open. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. He said, I'll dribble at you. Come in behind me and shoot it. And he goes, I got you there. Well, I started my dribble at, and a guy boxed him in, and George couldn't get out, and I froze. And the guy tapped the ball out from behind me. And I said, that'll never happen to me again. That's it. And I held true to that. I wish I'd have known a little sooner. We might have won that game, but we didn't. And but I learned a lesson that I'm going to take it on myself. Now, if he had come out, I'd have dribbled that and given it to him. But I had to make a quick decision to go, it's not here, I'm doing it. And so I'm going to see what happens. And again, I hope Marshall fans will stay with these guys. They're good guys. They play hard for you. They represent us. I think we had a 3-3 the last reporting. You know, that's unheard of for male basketball players. I think we had a 3-3. If I get one guy to get his up, it'll go to a 3-4. But, you know, good guys, play hard. I enjoy it. It's fun. I didn't enjoy this last game, and I'll end it there, okay? And let's talk to him. All right. Go ahead.
Thank you.
So what's your response to all of that? You just said.
Yeah, it was a lot. But, you know, like you said, we still, we're growing, we're developing. You know, we got a lot of stuff that, you know, everybody has to buy into at the same time. And just lock in as a team offensively, you know, sharing the ball, moving, getting good shots every time. Defensively, just communicating, and staying solid, not letting guys get by us. But I think there's a lot of good to come. I think that we're just gonna get this whole situation tied together. We're gonna be good, and hopefully peak right at the conference tournament, and make a run.
And what was Saturday like for you? Obviously, you get your first
Mhm.
playing time during the regular season. And obviously, not the team result you wanted, but
Mhm.
how did it feel to get out there and make a couple shots?
It felt great. One thing, about me and my game is, if I'm open, I'm gonna have the confidence to shoot it and make it every time. I was mad I missed a second too. I'm kind of a perfectionist when I shoot, but it felt good to get out there and be with my teammates. It is obviously a little nerve-wracking, going in for your first time after 6 games, but I have amazing teammates that have my back, and so it felt great just to go in, knock 2 down, and try to start a spark and stuff like that. So it was good.
Nate and Jake had both stood up there after the game Saturday and said that
Mhm.
you and Ryan kind of provided a spark. Is that
Mhm.
kind of what you've seen your role kind of turn into?
We're gonna see it's early, with my role, and we'll see what develops out of it. But me and Ryan are really close. We've been even before we got here in June. We started talking over social media, talking, calling all the time, and so we have a really good chemistry. And being able to be on the court with him at the same time was really awesome. And yeah, hopefully we can be guys that if we need, come in for a spark and give the team some energy and uplift them, and just get things back on track.
As a team, did you guys tell each other, guys, we're not playing like that ever again? Just, you work too hard to kind of not have that kind of result that you wanted to have lose the home like that. Is that kind of like the benchmark of like we're going up from here?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff said in the locker room after a game like that, and the main thing is that we were beating ourselves. It's a lot of stuff that we're doing versus stuff that the other team is doing. It's mistakes that we're making, miscommunications, missed open looks, stuff like that. And so that now it's just like it's almost like a reset button. We need to recoup and get ourselves on track and buy in. Everybody needs to buy into what they're doing, and move things. Keep it moving forward and get better every day. And that's what we go into practice with is we need to get better as a team. Work on your stuff individually, but the whole thing is as a team, be a good teammate, and make the right play every time.
Did you notice a difference when Coach kind of took control of practice today?
Yeah, he took control of it, and he was really hard on us. But it's what we need. We need to be held accountable for everything. Coach said after the game that I got beaten on back door. One of my first possessions being I got beaten on back door. I turned the wrong way. I got my hand on it, but I missed the ball. And he told me after the game that he was going to cut me some slack, but I think I wanted to be held to the same standard as everybody else, and so I think today that everybody was he held everybody accountable really well, and we get to see more where we can be better when he takes over the practice and just holds all of us accountable. It'll be good for us.
2 home games in a row now.
Mhm.
First time this year. It's
Mhm.
8 games into the season.
Yeah.
Is it nice to be home for a few days and not have to worry about neutral site or road games?
For sure. Everybody loves playing at home. The atmosphere, having the fans behind you and stuff like that. So yeah, it's gonna be nice to be home. Hopefully, we can come out and give you guys 2 amazing games against really good opponents, and then turn the show around.
What have you seen from Duquesne on film, and where do they kind of do well coming in here?
They got some real crafty, quick, shifty guards. Play really good. I think a lot of their game comes from those guards, and they kind of facilitate the whole thing. And once they get going, it's hard to stop them. So we really just got to stay solid on them and don't let them get hot, and just play solid defense on everybody else. And their 4-man's really good. He was at Georgia Southern last year. He can shoot it, play inside and out. So we've got to worry about him and the guards, and just stay solid.
Good.
Cool.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Yep.